This is Sky News.
Our top story this afternoon, the hacking scandal claims its biggest victim so far. Hello there, a warm welcome to the programme. Russian authorities are stepping up security following another suicide bombing in the south of the country. Nobody feels safe. The Kremlin said it had security under control in the run-up to Sochi, but it appears not.
Yeah, I think now that you've had 2 deadly attacks within 24 hours, you have a national emergency.
There she is, the city of Glasgow, Scotland's economic powerhouse, but with pockets of deprivation so severe that life expectancy is actually better in parts of Iraq and the Gaza Strip. More people here are out of work than in the rest of the UK, and more people die here prematurely of heart disease than anywhere else in the world. Glasgow's problems are Scotland's problems. How do you govern a country well that has such disparity in wealth? Mr. Brahimi, do you understand elements of the international community who feel frustrated that nothing has been achieved in the 17 months and that appointing a special envoy has become irrelevant?
Irrelevant meaning because it's difficult and nothing has been achieved.
Some breaking news now here on Sky. Now, this is to do with allegations that Gordon Brown made that he was hacked by reporters acting for the Sunday Times. Also on 5 News, turning up the heat, an investigation is launched into soaring profits for energy companies. Honeymoon murder reports from South Africa say police want to charge a British man over his wife's death. Welcome to 5 News, I'm Julie MacDonald. December may still be a few days away, but the winter weather has well and truly arrived. And now for some breaking news here on Al Jazeera. We're hearing through our wires service Reuters that News International, that's the company that oversees the paper News of the World, that's been dogged by these hacking allegations, that this Sunday will be the last edition of that tabloid newspaper. You'll have seen in our coverage that the phone hacking scandal here in Britain has intensified as the scope of the tabloid intrusion into private voicemails being hacked became clearer.
Well, Julie MacDonald is live at Scotland Yard for us. So what happened today, Julie?
Hi Emma. Well, today's hearing was specifically designed to ascertain if PC Simon Harwood was specifically guilty of professional gross misconduct. Now, he was sacked, as you said, with immediate effect after admitting to 2 of the 3 allegations levied against him. Welcome. As you may have heard, in September 2014, the people of Scotland will be asked whether they want to become an independent sovereign state. Now, it's not often that a 300-year-old union is broken, so this vote will have ramifications far beyond Scotland, and the UK as we know it could be no more. A warm welcome to you all. So why is it, you guys, that Scots who already have home rule but with limited powers want to break up the union? Is this debate about identity? Like saying to Scots, come along for the ride. We think eventually this is going to be great, but there will be ups and downs along the way.
As this is a country with immense human and natural resources, which can be a highly successful country and a much, much fairer society.
You
That is
think
the Scottish
Scottish
way.
people will be willing to pay for that? A
Well,
more prosperous society?
No, what I say is the best, most successful countries are the most just socially.
So, Julie, what's been happening?
Emma, plenty has been happening. I've got one word for you. Wow. The scale of this premiere is just huge. We've had all the A-listers from this Bond movie on the carpet, and I think even they have been amazed at the size of it and the response from the fans. Professor,
so thereby giving people vouchers.
Can I just ask you this? I mean, I'm a mum of 2 very young kids, and one of the reasons that I think that these rates of breastfeeding in this country are very low is because women don't have the right support. I even found it very difficult, and I am not living in a situation where deprivation is any sort of an issue. So I understand that shopping vouchers would be one thing, but you need a good diet, you need someone to give you a few hours off. Where are women going to get those sort of incentives from?
What ideas do the police have about what's happened to Joe?
Well, Natasha, at the moment, the police won't be drawn on exactly what they think happened to Joe last Friday night. The family, on the other hand, think at the moment that she may have been kidnapped, and they are understandably in agony over their daughter's disappearance. Joanna Yates, known as Jo to her friends and family. Well, let's go live now to Jerusalem and speak to the spokesman for the Israeli Prime Minister, Mark Regev. You said things are looking up. I just want to read you some figures here. 1,300 people dead. Of those, 410 children and 104 women. More than 100 bodies being pulled out of the rubble today and 5,300 people injured. Things aren't looking up for the residents of Gaza, are they? Can I just interrupt you a sec, gentlemen? I just want to bring you both in on that point. What interests me is that if everything you're saying is indeed true, why were we not hearing these things over the past few days? And people very much do get the sense that there is this kind of Da Vinci Code withholding going on. And certainly, I'm not sure that what's happened over the past couple of days has helped Catholicism. I think there are a lot of Catholics out there that must feel pretty upset. Hello there, welcome to the programme. Now, BP has permanently sealed the ruptured oil well in the Gulf of Mexico. Well, if you're just joining us here on Al Jazeera, we've been listening to an update from Greymouth, New Zealand regarding the miners that are trapped. Ireland has confirmed it's now asked for a multi-billion-dollar financial bailout.
Julie, MacDonald's is at the High Court in central London for us. Julie, what more do we know about these false claims then?
Natasha, the Daily Star have said sorry to David Beckham and his family over its false claims that he chatted up and emailed this Hungarian model. Bex wasn't in court today, but his lawyer returned the verdict that he'd been looking for. So we're at the checkpoint in the old city of Hebron, and there's about 200 cyclists that have to get through here. But we're going to have to check through the bikes and the bags and all the rest of it. So the soldiers are making a decision right now as to whether we can actually go in. And then when we're on the other side, we'll be able to see for ourselves and feel the story of what the people in Hebron are experiencing. Well, let's talk now to Crispin Black, who's a security analyst. Crispin, thanks very much for being with us. We're slowly but surely getting a picture of the suspect. Do we think at this point that he could have acted alone? UN scientists say that emissions cuts of between 25 and 40% are needed by 2020. Ahead of the talks, developed nations have offered cuts in greenhouse gas emissions averaging between 14 and 18%.
It sounds like it's going to be a who's who of classical music.
This is music's grown-up evening. So welcome to the Brit Awards, the Classical Awards 2009. Now let me tell you something, it's been 10 years since the start of this ceremony, which grew out of a much smaller slot on the regular Brit Awards. And behind me you can see Catherine Jenkins there. She was giving some advice to Farrell Smith earlier. I just wonder when those awards are finally given out if everything will stay just as friendly. Back to you. We seem to have lost contact with our correspondent Rula Amin there in Beirut. I think we can take a look though again at pictures that we're getting from the city. Let's take a look at those prices. Well, as we say, they've soared to a record high of 1.2176 pence a litre. That's almost £1.22 to you and me. Now that's £6 more expensive than this time last year. And if you're a family running a car, that's a whopping £61 more expensive. If you've got two cars on the go, that's £27 more a month than it was this time last year. We will be back just in a couple of minutes with more analysis. Stay with us. But even the Prime Minister acknowledges that the headscarf ban is ruining the ambitions of hundreds of thousands of Turkish women. We're back with the news at the top of the hour, but now it's over to people and power. Bye-bye.